remember trend analysis? When we did trend analysis earlier today, no, I say when we did trend analysis 2 weeks ago on the balance sheet, so I say when we did trend analysis earlier today, we always divided by the base year. So it doesn't just work for the balance sheet, it can also work for the income statement. Now, you would ask me then, does it work for the statement of cash flows? The answer is no. It works for the income statement, not the statement of cash flows. So here the thing to do is simply divide each figure by the base year and figure it out. So what I'd like you to do now is take 10 or 15 minutes. I'll turn on the lights even, because maybe that'll wake everybody up. See if you can do the trend analysis on Apple Computer here. Finish this up. And then also answer the questions on the following page. All right, just feed me the numbers here because I didn't figure this out. Income before income tax is what? 370. And in 2009? 241. And in 2008? What? 178. And in 2007 is 100. Provision for income tax? 299. 2009? 253. 2008? 187. And then 100 for 2007. Income from continuing operations? 401. 2009? 236. 2008? 175. And 2007? 100. Wow, 100, huh? Isn't that a coincidence that it just always works out to 100 in 2007? Net income is what? 401, 236, 175, and 100. No non-recurring items. Got that? So, and these were all the different items that we just filled in. Sales growth was 100. Let's grow this a little bit. Was 172% from 2007 to 2010, with the greatest increase during which year? Well, you have 56%, right? You have 56 points here. You have 23 points here, and you have almost 100 points in 2010. So it's going to be 2010. When sales revenue increases, expenses would be expected to increase. It's favorable when the sales revenue increases by 172% and expenses increase at a lower rate than 172%. If the expense account increased at a rate greater than sales revenue, this indicates costs were out of control. Which of the following expenses increased at a greater rate than sales revenue? So sales revenue increased 172%. What increased at a higher rate? Provision for income tax. For Apple, the most important cost to keep under control is what? Cost of goods sold. Overall, it appears that Apple kept costs under control, because look here, cost of goods sold is 249, which is less than sales revenue. So sales revenue increased at a higher rate than cost of goods sold. So Apple kept its costs under control. The 2010 trend index for sales revenue of 272 is greater than 100, indicating the amount for that year is almost triple of the base year. The 2010 trend index for net income of 401 is greater than 100, indicating the amount for that year is quadrupled the base year. Sales revenue, oops. What? I said the wrong answer too. I think I did. Which increased at a greater rate, sales revenue or net income? Net income increased at a greater rate, indicating that revenues increased at a greater rate than expenses, which is favorable. Annual revenue growth rate can be compared between companies. 3-year average revenue growth rate is high. Compute gross profit margin. So what is gross margin for 2010? 39.7%? 7.4%? Like that. For 2009, what is it? 40.0%? You guys are you're such perfectionists. How about 2008? 35.2%. And for 2007, 33.97%. During this time period, gross profit margin increased, which is favorable. What does this mean?
How well they buy and sell merchandise?
Yeah, their prices are going up. They got a better and better markup on their products. As they create differentiation, they're able to keep their prices high or even higher and mark up the merchandise even more than they were before. It's a remarkable model that they have here. Let's look at return on sales. What was return on sales for 2010?
21.5.
What, 21?
0.5.
And for 2009?
19.2.
19.2%. And for 2008? 16.3%. And for 2007 is given 14.56%. So we look at the numbers. During this time period, return on sales increased, and that is favorable. Again, what does this mean? It shows your profitability.
How much you squeeze out of $1?
How much you squeeze out of each dollar of sales. Growth. Here's what I would say, okay? I would say, okay, great. Apple, it's 2010. I know you can grow, but can you grow and keep your profit margins up? Can you grow and stay profitable? Because some companies might be able to grow, but they lower their prices, they lose product differentiation, they saturate the market, and eventually their profitability isn't sustained. And what Apple is showing here is that as it grows, it becomes more profitable. Not only in total, not only is income itself going up, but the percentage of income on each unit that it sells is going up. So not only is Apple selling more products, but it's marking up its products higher. That's good, right? I mean, if you're an investor in Apple, that's really nice to see. Operationally, what was the best year? I'd say the most recent year was the best year because the company just keeps doing better and better. Why? Sales are at record high. Net income is at record high. Gross profit ratio is at record high. Is it? Yeah, 21.5%. No. Gross profit ratio is high. And return on sales its highest over 4 years. Yes?
For question 6, wouldn't it be decrease since it dropped a little from the previous year?
I think, you know what, it's not really clear. It just says during this time period, and it doesn't refer to, I think they're referring to all 4 years.
So overall, instead of...
But yeah, you're right. It did decrease from 1 year to the next. Would you sell the stock because of that?
Not really, no.
You'd be a fool to do that, right? Operationally, the worst year was 07. Why was it the worst year? Lowest sales, lowest return on sales, lowest gross profit ratio. And here's my question. Is Apple a good investment? My parents have Apple stock. Should I tell them to sell it? No? What do you think? How many people here think that you should hold on to Apple stock? I'm looking at it here. I want to see what the stock price is today. Okay, Apple is trading for $625.94 a share. Their earnings per share is $41.85 a share. Something called the PE ratio, which measures how expensive the stock is 15. I wish I could show you the stock chart, but it is what it is. What do you think? Yeah.
Based on this, would you keep it because it goes up every year? Like all of their net income goes up, their revenue goes up.
Yeah.
So everything's really headed upwards.
So what's naturally going to happen in 2011? It's going to go up, right? 2012, it went up again. This is what it happened, right? In reality, it went up 2013, 2014. Do you know what sales revenue was in 2014? I'll look it up right now for you. It was $65 billion in 2010. Hang on, I need 5 more minutes of your time, please. Because I want you to see something here. It's a very important point.
In 2013, the net sales were $170 billion.
Yep, $170 billion. So 2014, sales were up. So it appears that, without doing the math, it appears that Apple this trend has not stopped. So what do you think of that theory, that it's just going to keep going up? For a little bit? What other considerations would you make when you're making a decision like this?
I would look at their competitors.
You look at their competitors, the industry overall, recent news. Their products.
Their reputation and what they sell.
What's the word on the street about Apple?
It's great. Everyone should have it.
That it's great and everybody should have it?
It's still something rehashing.
It's so-so, it's rehashing?
A little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit
people-
of question after Steve Jobs. Yeah.
That will the company be able to keep things up after Steve Jobs? You know what I wonder what could they do next? Like, what could they possibly come? I mean, I can think of one thing that Apple could do that would really make a big difference. You know, I have an iPhone, and one thing that could do is having a Siri that works. Where you like ask Siri, okay, call my wife, and then Siri goes, okay, I will take you to Nantucket or something, you know. And the Siri that works would be really nice. Anything else?
It's just cosmetic because from what I see, they either get smaller, thinner, bigger.
But that's one of the things they're talking about, is that the next, I don't know if they're doing this or not, but the next iPhone, their screen is going to be larger. They go up to the edges or something, or they're talking about a curved screen. I don't know. I wouldn't pay another $300 for that. I don't know about you. Anything else? Having one that's slightly larger, like the Samsung Note, is it? I mean, what could Apple do that would really dramatically increase sales? You wouldn't know? It's really true, you wouldn't. Because I would have been pretty amazed if, you know, if you could have a phone that plays music, to me, you know, that's pretty amazing in the first place. Phones that play music. But seriously, so should you buy the stock or not? You think so? How many people here would buy the stock? How many people here were not? No one? I'll tell you something, all right? And you can take this with a grain of salt or not. It's a good measure of market sentiment, what's called a PE ratio. And the PE ratio for Apple is actually pretty low. It's average, meaning that Apple is not a great buy. It's not a bad buy either. 15 is about average for a PE ratio. So I'd say like half the market agrees with you guys, half the market does not, and is skeptical about Apple. The question would be, how long can Apple sustain this kind of growth? When I worked on this edition of the book, my thinking was, okay, maybe they could keep this up for another year or two. Well, it's going to be 4 years now, and they've kept it up. How many years? You know, it's like McDonald's. It's a great question with McDonald's. How many McDonald's stores can you build around the world? There's a point where you can't sell any more cheap hamburgers and thick shakes. There's just a point where you reach there. And it's very possible that Apple could reach a similar point where there's only so many phones that you can sell. So the question of how sustainable is Apple's growth is a really good question, and I think that you have to think about it. And my mom, she sold half her stock a year ago. So I think that was probably if she waited longer, then it would be worth more. So I don't know if that was a smart move or not. But it's all things to think about. Anyway, thank you all. I guess we could call it a day today. Please do activity 30. Do the activity 30 online, or do it for homework. And I'll also have a video for you for activity 30. Do activities 66 and 67 online. And also there'll be some practice exams for you online to work on. If you have projects, email me. If I'm not getting through to you, you can also try me on that personal email that I gave you, mark@accountinator.com. Thank you all and have a great day. Have a good week.
Wait, activity 66 and 61.